We're back! Today we are previewing the story and the engine, the upcoming episode of Doctor Who Season 2.
Creepy crawlies.
Big spider.
Big spider boy.
Big spider getting a haircut on its back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Imagine not being a Doctor Who fan and just suddenly listening into this podcast. Big spider with a hair salon on its back.
It's called the 50% Doctor Who podcast, baby. The story and the engine preview. What else are you expecting?
Oh, some good fucking content. And that's what you can follow us on TikTok and on TikTok at 50 Doctor Who and on Twitter and Instagram at 50 Doctor.
That's it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's all you have to do.
50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50%. Pop, cat. Wow.
The finale theme be like, ha, 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 like an orchestra version.
What, you're gonna get too serious with our final?
Yeah, in the finale, I'm going to add some like orchestra stuff to that.
If it really is the last episode of Doctor Who, we could do that.
We'll make it big. 50, 50, 50, 50,
We already have the orchestral version, remember?
We do. Someone sent one for Rogue. The Ball, I think it was.
Yeah, Mr. Bull, that was it.
Mr. Ball.
Yeah.
All right, the story and the engine.
Yeah.
Season 2, episode 5. In Lagos, the mysterious barber reigns supreme. The Doctor discovers a world where stories have power, but can he stop the spider and its deadly web of revenge? The episode is, guess how many minutes?
55?
Why are you guessing 55? It's 47, idiot, moron.
Oh. I'm too used to Jodie's era.
You are too used to Jodie's
45? Was it?
47.
Damn it.
You get 2 extra precious minutes there.
Thank you.
So, as always, back in this episode is Mrs. Flood.
Oh, God.
But, of course, also we have Ncuti Gatwa and Vedanta Sithu back as our TARDIS duo.
Yeah.
This is so mysterious, okay? So, let's start. It's mysterious in that it's written by Inua Elams. I'm sorry, I probably butchered that name. But I believe their background is more poetry and a little bit of writing rather than screenwriting. So it's like an interesting background, and there must be a solid reason as to why they've brought them in for this episode. Maybe it's because of that heritage that comes with it. But I wonder if his previous creative endeavors have much of a role in what this episode is. And this is we're done with the Australians this week. That's a shame. We've got director McCullough McPherson this week. Yeah, no more Australians writing and directing Doctor Who for the rest of the season.
That's all right. It's all right. We've had our day.
We have had our day. Yeah, okay. So interestingly, the top billed sort of guest actor of the week, Arion Bakir. Once again,
Barber?
probably butchered that name. They're playing the barber, and that's all we got. That's all we got, which means, you know what that means?
Oh, I see.
They're a fucking god, mate.
You think so?
I reckon the barber,
The god of haircuts?
harbinger.
No.
Harbinger. I can't do it. Yeah, that's it. Harbinger.
Okay.
But I reckon, yeah, either they're the harbinger or they're the god. That's actually right in front of us. They're definitely the harbinger, right? I just realized that on the spot.
You've said 2 things so far that are so wrong. Wrong. Okay. First of all, the writer, poet, big speeches in common, baby.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it could be some big speeches going on.
Big speeches. You thought the Doctor's speech last week was big? Wait for this one. Okay, I'm talking like an insider, like I've seen already.
You are BBC insider Connor Hannum.
Second of all,
yes,
the spider is the god of storytelling.
Well, that's the idea, right? Whether or not the spider itself is the god, or whether or not it's just part of the god, the harbingers. I don't know. Yeah, it most likely is the harbinger is the harbinger, and then the spider is the god. Well, but maybe the harbinger barber is actually the god. I don't know.
Well, there is. I don't really know what you just said.
Neither do I.
Well, the barber shop is on top of the spider. So what's so funny? That's what happened.
Well, that's so silly, but I'm also silly. Excited, but also just
why not?
No, I'm also just Russell on these fucking puns with these acronyms.
It's yeah.
The barber is 100% a harbinger. Like
To be fair, you guessed it last time with the harbinger being in Lux. So
yeah. But this one, like, I feel like I specifically know the doctor's going to say, "What was your name?" Barber. What was your first name? Harry. Harry Harbinger.
Far out. Fine, whatever. If it works, I've enjoyed the God stuff thus far with Lux. So
yeah,
I love Lux. I simp it. So I'm so excited for this app. I've said since the beginning it's the one I'm most excited for. It's definitely my favorite title as well. People care about that. It's my favorite title from this series. I'm very excited. I thought the next time trailer looked smashing. I don't think they did it for last week either. Remember they used to do the TV trailers?
Yeah, I've been trying to find them to help me put together the TikTok reels and stuff, and I can't find TV trailers.
I know, because
they just giving up promoting
footage and stuff.
Are they giving up promoting Doctor Who?
I hope not.
The reason I need them is because I don't want the version that has the Doctor Who theme in the background.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that is kind of annoying because they always give us a bit more footage. So I guess what we have to go off is a next time trailer and the footage from all the other trailers, and also there was an Unleashed clip.
That was a great clip.
It looks
like just
awesome.
just vibes going on.
I love it. I don't know where they filmed that or how they filmed it, but it looks great.
Yeah.
Generally,
looks amazing. So we're going to Lagos. Lagos? Connor, can you tell me where Lagos is?
I said a couple of weeks ago West Africa, but I could have just pulled that out of my ass. So
it's in Nigeria.
Yeah, you never fucking know the answer when it's important.
Is that West Africa?
Nigeria is in. It's in Africa.
Well, I know it's in Africa.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I hesitated as well. I was zooming out on a map until I could see that it was definitely Africa before I said it.
Is it west or east?
It is. Never eat soggy Weebics. West.
Yes!
It's in the little elephant ear. At the bottom of the little elephant ear.
Yes. I just roundly guessed that and I am right.
I hope we get some Nigerian tunes in here because I love whenever Ted Lasso, obviously Sam Obisanya is from Nigeria, and every now and then they'd have like a family oriented episode and they have some Nigerian tunes in there. And I'm like, I love it. Like I love the vibes. So I hope we get a bit of that.
Well, I know Murray's score in the clip that we got in Unleashed was very groovy, and I love that. I love the idea of Sagan did this a lot. We heard a lot more from Sagan than Murray. Obviously, Murray's a bit more private, I think, but Sagan would always do his research and like the cultures that the episode was going for, and like doing the music for that. And I think that's so cool.
I do think, to give Sagan credit, a point that I'll actually give him over Murray is I do think his sound altered episode to episode more than Murray's does. Murray's, I think, been a bit better than that in this run than he was in the past, but Sagan's, you could hear the instruments.
Yeah, the instruments,
which I think is a super special part of his work on the show.
It was quite like, he would bring in like the instruments that are like the sounds of that country, you know, and that place. So
yeah,
I'm very excited for this episode. I have very high hopes. I think this could be one of my favorites of the series.
I think it could be, but like I said, I think on the last pod, we've had 3 good episodes already in a row, and for some people 4.
Yeah,
I just Doctor Who can't have this many good episodes in a row. It's not that kind of show,
right?
But maybe it could. I would love it if it does. I will be doing flips. I'll be dancing, roly polies, have my shirt off,
nice,
just kissing myself in the mirror.
I think that it's a high chance, man. I really do. I love the idea of a poet writing Doctor Who episode, and the whole idea of it being about powered by stories and stuff.
Yeah,
I think that's just such a cool idea, and I want to, you know, obviously that is going to be a big part of the episode, but I really do want it to be like a prominent part of it, where maybe we hear some of the Doctor telling the story about like ancient Gallifrey or something like that. That would be just so cool. I want to.
What, like a bit of I have seen things you wouldn't believe.
Yes.
I've lost things you will never understand.
Yes.
I've walked in universes where the laws of physics were devised by a madman.
He's coming back in the final, Omega.
Matt Smith? Oh, Omega.
No, Omega.
Right.
I think that line's referencing Omega, apparently. That's what people say.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
So in the next time trailer, there's a line about the creature always being hungry, and I think it gets fed by stories. Hungry.
Hungry.
What is it? The web of stories, or the web of lies or something.
Yeah, I think that the spider like eats stories.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Are there multiple
Well, not
spiders
eats
or they're
stories,
just
it
one?
feeds off stories. I reckon there's one big god spider.
Okay, because there is a shot on the trailer of a spider blowing up, and I'm like, if this is how the story ends,
Yeah, surely not.
I ain't here for that.
I don't think it will be because I don't know. I think there's a world where maybe because they've got to shake up these god stories because we're locking in. This is a god story. Do you think?
Well, the god of storytelling, I guess it kind of is, yeah.
I'm happy to lock in as a god of storytelling,
Barbinger.
or or the god of storytelling, or something of that nature.
Yeah.
So let's lock that in. If that is not the case, then what will we do? What will our punishment be?
Oh, goodness me. Well, you're still waiting. We're both still waiting on doing ours.
Yeah, I've got to do mine. I'm
I'm literally waiting for my beard to grow. So.
And I will run 5Ks to There's Always a Twist at the end because I got something wrong earlier in the season.
Well, I have an arachnophobia, so
I'll put you in a cage with spiders.
that would literally be my worst nightmare.
Yeah, no, we won't do that.
That would be a hell of a punishment because
Comment down below what we should do.
I have an insane arachnophobia. I don't know if this episode will be like spooky, scary.
I don't think so.
Spiders
Skeletons.
because it looks like a robotic spider. It's like a robotic.
I think
leg or
it's
something.
a real life spider with
Isn't
a
it little bit
barbershop on its
robotic
back.
to you?
I have no idea. Do you think that barbershop works as like a portal to the spider's story realm? So like they close the door and then he opens it back up and he's in like the story world.
I think so. I also think I heard that the doctor goes there to get a haircut.
I love that.
So I think, do you know that story from William Hartnell Zero where he goes to that like Western?
He goes to the dentist in like a Western.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
the
gunfighters, maybe that one is.
I think it's something like that where it's like he'll probably just say like, "Oh, this is where I always get my haircuts,"
Oh fuck! There's a god.
and then yes, there's a god.
There's a harbinger.
There's a harbinger.
My barbinger is a harbinger.
My barber's a harbinger. So yeah, I'm very excited. I think this could be a GOAT episode.
I think it could be. But we will see. I think what I was saying, so we're locking in, sorry, microphone. We are locking in that is the god of storytelling. But I think we can't just keep doing these gods. The gods are trying to get rid of music, trying to get rid of trying to get light, trying to get rid of life for death. I think we have to shake up the story. So I would love like a god that's hanging out and not necessarily, do they have to be menacing? Can this spider just be an innocent little spider? But some fuckers like, that's got the god of storytelling there. I want their stories or some shit, and they start attacking the spider. Hence why we see the trailer of the spider being blown up. Like I'd love them to like break this narrative that we keep doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, where have all these gods been hanging out all this time? There has to be some kind of
In the void, mate. It's because it's been
reason.
Easter. Jesus' tomb opened and the gods came out.
Kind of, because like it's kind of like it's alluded that Lux is just it's just light, and it was just
They're just hanging out on the moon or something.
I kind of wish there was a bit more of backstory of like what they've been doing.
Well, there's the spoons.
There is this.
Have you seen
Yes.
the most ridiculous theory?
Yes.
Is that there is spoons.
Yes.
Every time a god has occurred in Doctor Who, there has been a spoon there.
Jinxmon spoon.
Jinxmon spoon rocks up in the spoon.
Yep.
Lux comes from the moonlight that reflects off of a spoon.
Yeah.
And there's the spoon into the TV.
That stupid
in Empire of
side
Death.
plot in Empire of Death.
Weird ass thing.
Terrible.
Did anything happen with the toy maker and spoons?
No, I don't think so.
We've gone through your cunning plan. Maybe it's saying that Sylvester McCoy's back because there's the spoons. Spoons, playing spoons. Confirmed, Sylvester McCoy.
Yeah, I don't think there was, but from that point onwards, though, didn't the toy maker start it all though?
Yeah, so maybe the toy maker was like, I send spoons.
And this is my spoon.
This is nice. Peter Capaldi's coming back.
Peter
Is that what you're
Capaldi.
telling me?
Yeah, this is a shout out to Robot of Sherwood.
So, spoon watch for this weekend.
True.
Will that be a spoon?
So silly, spoons.
Keep
What is this?
Keep your eyes.
There's so many little things that need to be like tied up.
Yeah, if they don't tie up the spoons, man, I will riot.
Yeah, there must be something.
But this is, I think this is the first episode that I'm sort of going into this season. And it's always the case because they always promote the first few episodes more than the later ones in the trailers. This is the first one that I'm going into with very, very little idea of what's going on. Like, there's a couple shots from the trailer, but I don't know anything plot wise. We're just assuming Spider is God and Harbinger.
Do you know what a human does?
Make a fool out of me.
Makes an ass out of you and I.
Ass.
I have high hopes for this.
I have high hopes too.
This is the last
Like
one
Paramore.
that, like, because I'm not so sure about how I'm going to feel about Interstellar Song Contest and the final,
Yeah.
the 2-part final. I'm very nervous about.
If we get to the end of the season and every episode from Story in the Engine to the end is shit, and we only got 3 good episodes, how would you feel? Because it's been a good little run.
Well, then I guess it would be the same as last season in a sense,
Ah, shit.
because I have an episode that I truly love, one of my favorites of all time, I would say, with Locks and 73. I definitely would say the probably not on par with Boom for Lucky Day, but definitely close. So yeah, I guess and honestly, The Well is probably up there with Rogue for me. So which is which is probably going to make some people cringe in their boots, me saying that. But I think we actually could be onto a bit of a home run here.
I fucking hope so.
And it's not falling on deaf ears at Disney, I don't think.
Whoa.
What's going on, Aiden?
I just noticed something, and I think it's just a cameo for the sake of a cameo.
Mrs. Flood?
Yeah, Anita Dobson's back, which she is. But Inua Ellams, the writer, is also in the episode.
Yeah, he's the 4th person to ever do it. There was Toby Whithouse, there was Mark Gatiss, and there was one other guy from the classic era who cameoed in the episode.
Well, he's going to be playing the market seller.
Yeah, probably a quick little cameo.
Why has Russell never been in it?
Why has Russell never been in it? It's funny. I was watching Sopranos last night, and the creator David Chase was just on an airplane. Like, he was just like one of the passengers. He didn't say anything.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, look who it is. So I don't know. Maybe there was the Zorbalov son, played by Russell T Davies. Remember there was that like 60th fake leak that was like the Zorbalov son will be played by Russell T Davies.
No.
I could see that happening.
I don't. Oh my God.
It's a bit too meta, I think.
Well, not for this bloody show, mate. They love meta.
Well, maybe if the whole idea of it being a TV show, Mrs. Flood breaks into Russell's office and he's like,
It's like a normal scene on the TARDIS with Miss Flood, and Miss Flood's like, "This is a TV show," and it cuts out to like TARDIS, and it pulls out on all the set is there, and then cuts to Russell, and he's like, "All right, let's do this one again, guys. That was marvelous, just marvelous, but we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Thank you. Please come back, please."
Sadly,
Sack Russell T Davies.
I just don't want to see that.
If that happens, I will cry. I will laugh hysterically because it will be insane.
This is my lot. Like, after this episode, I'm
worried.
I am worried. I'm not trying to say it can't work. I've
because
been very surprised this series. So,
and I think the only reason we're worried is past experience, past experience with Doctor Who, and with particularly some Russell finale here or there, but particularly with the end of last season. We are worried that it won't hit the nail on the head. It's been a while since we've had a really good Doctor Who finale.
I know.
So
series 10 probably.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like we as Doctor Who fans have every right to be worried, but there is nothing that has necessarily shown us a reason to be worried about those episodes. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not been, other than maybe the TV show theory, there's not been any like comments or things that have made me go, "Oh, I don't like what they're going for."
You know what blows my fucking tits off?
What?
The idea they were filming Lucky Day they were filming on the 23rd of November.
Yeah, in the 60th.
2023.
Crazy.
That's when they were filming the Conrad and Doctor scenes on the TARDIS. What the hell? It was
Insane.
that seems like a lifetime ago.
Feels like almost 2 years ago.
To be fair,
Fuck, we've been doing this podcast for so long.
Yeah, 5 years and a couple months.
Yeah, but it's just like that. Like, we've covered the 60th. Like, we were doing this podcast long before Russell got announced as returning. But the fact that we're now talking about shooting this newest season was happening whilst the 60th specials were airing, and we covered the 60th specials well ahead of the whole production through that. So we're just fucking old.
Well, that was the really cool thing, though, was that when we were watching the 60th, we knew that we had so much to come, and that it was just really exciting because we was, going to get all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, but to be fair, Shooty said he wanted a break between 1 and 2 anyway, so he definitely got that.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have him for 3. Connor, it's the time of the year when I need you to use those hand muscles and start moving that crystal ball, baby.
Everyone do it at home.
Everyone do. I loved someone did the emojis of 2 hands and the ball in the comments.
We're making moves, baby.
Just 2 this week, Connor, because I really don't know anything about this episode.
Okay.
Yes or no answers. We've kind of answered them already. Will this episode have a god in it?
Yeah, the god of storytelling.
Mm-hmm. And the other one, will this have a large effect on the overall story of the season?
Nah.
No, you think it's just going to be like Lux, where it's like another god, they defeat the god. God might come back later in the season, but that's it.
Well, you know how they did the god of games, the god of music, the god of death.
The god of games.
Yeah.
Like gaming.
Well, that's what Toymaker is, the god of games.
So I was picturing like video games.
Like Call of Duty Zombies or something.
Exactly.
Diaries. Yeah. I think it could be something like that. I mean, if you're going to do this whole narrative of like gods, like you might as well do it one more time before the final, which I assume surely is the end of that arc.
Yeah.
If Shooty is in for a series 3, I want it to be similar to like Capaldi series 10, where it felt quite different and quite separate from his first 2.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Even more darker, if you don't mind.
Yes, I agree with you, but I do think that this might have a larger effect on the overall story, because I've got a feeling this series is going to be a bit like series 5, where you kind of watch it and you're like watching individual episodes, but then you get to the finale, and I think every episode of series 5, whether it's a character connection or plot connection, every episode has an ongoing effect in the story.
You're right, yeah.
That's 13 episodes.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe there's a chance that that's the case for this season. Maybe, I don't know about the well, but like obviously Lux with the God stuff, you got the premiere, Lucky Day stuff is obviously going to come back in the finale with Conrad. So yeah, I could see this really being a really connected series.
Well, the well would have the connection to Mrs. Flood and calling about the Vindicator. So that would be...
Yeah.
My crystal ball prediction question to you is, do you think Mrs. Flood will be in the market trying to sell something, or maybe a customer?
I can't have these dumb cameos. I liked her cameo in Lucky Day because it actually like moved her plot forward a little bit. We got like I'm putting together a team, family.
Oh, God.
But yeah, if it's another like, come buy my socks,
Kumbaya,
I'll be like, I'm not buying your socks.
Kumbaya.
What is that from?
It's just a song.
Oh. From where?
I think we sang it at school.
Did we?
Probably, yeah. It's like a religious song.
I remember God is an awesome God, he reigns from heaven on earth. Think what you want of religion, but they have some bangers.
The Sim one was really good.
Sin? Shine. Shine, Jesus, fill this land with your Father's glory. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Clapping?
Santa hearts on fire.
Flow, river, flow.
This is Sin Line.
With this land, with your Father's. This is like, I feel like we're doing like a cult podcast now. Sing with us, listeners, for the Lord.
Yeah, that was a kind of a banger.
We should, whenever we have a God episode, we should have like sung a Jesus song.
Yeah.
Shine, Jesus, shine.
Did you get a bit too cool in school to start singing it later on? I kind of just stopped in like year 8 or 9.
Sorry to be a loser, but I was a house captain, and if I didn't sing, the head of the house would, Miss McGonagall, would look at me in the eyes and be like, Miss McGonagall would look me in the eyes and be like, you fucking scum, sing for the Lord.
You're supposed to be like a representative of
So I'd whip out the old mouthing.
Yeah. I mean, you're allowed to have an opinion on fucking religion.
But I have to sing for Sutek, the god of death.
Oh, Sutek.
All right, guys. We'll be back on Sunday to review the episode. Thank you very much for watching and listening.
Yeah, baby. See you then.
Yeah, that's all I got to say. Shine, Jesus, shine.
Shine, Jesus, shine.
It's Aidan and Connor's podcast. We're doing Doctor Who reviews.
On a Monday.
Doing Doctor Who previews. That was really hard.
That was our memory.
Memory of the TARDIS.
I'm expecting some rhyme like that in the final.
Yeah. The reality.
The
reality is
What's the time?
the war. The reality was at war.